so faithful to the wishes, to the will, to the passion of the self-determination of the people of Puerto Rico, why aren't they including the very option that won? They say they respect the decision of American citizens on the island of Puerto Rico, and we should give them an opportunity to express themselves freely in a referendum. Guess what? They did, and yet we reject the very option that they chose for themselves. What kind of democracy is that? I don't know what kind of democracy that is in other states, but I know how I feel about it. None of the above, for me, offers this wonderful opportunity to the people of Puerto Rico, just so that we understand, because everybody says, I want to read this. There's a Democrat say about my amendment, my own party. You mislead voters into thinking there is a legally better alternative to Puerto Rican political status other than independent state or sovereignty. Me? Me? I'm misleading people? What is the last option that won? Adopted by the government of Puerto Rico and voted on in Puerto Rico.
And the gentleman will suspend. The chair notes a disturbance in the gallery in contravention of the law and rules of the House. The Sergeant at Arms will remove those persons responsible for the disturbance and restore order to the gallery. Gentleman will suspend.
The truth is the truth. And the truth of the matter is, the last time there was...
The chair will remind all persons in the gallery that they are here as guests of the House, and any manifestation of approval or disapproval of proceedings or other audible conversation is in violation of the rules of the House. The gentleman may resume.
The truth is that the last time, one of the alternatives was exactly what I offer. If you really believe and you really trust and you really respect the judgment of the people of Puerto Rico, then include it as they included when they were able to do it. If you say you're not imposing your will on them, then give them the option when they had the ability to choose the different options. I'm not asking for anything else other than that, because I think that it is important and fundamental that we check into the history books. Notice, and no one will contradict the fact that none of the above was the one that won. That was one of the offers, and then they say that I mislead. I don't mislead anybody. The fact is, you know, people out in the, oh, that I'm doing this and that, you know what? That's okay. People like me who defend the sovereign rights of the people of Puerto Rico, you know what happens to them in Puerto Rico? They get files on them by the government of Puerto Rico. They get jailed. They get made sure they lose their jobs. They get sanctioned. Everybody always says, oh, why aren't there more people that believe in Puerto Rican independence? There's a lot of people that believe in Puerto Rican independence. More of them don't show themselves, because when they do, you know what happens? Those that support other alternatives lock them up. Let me tell you something. Careful, and I will reserve the balance of my time.
It's time. Who seeks time in opposition?
I'll speak in opposition to the amendment, Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, as was the case with the Fox Amendment, this amendment would also